Fractions. Fractional numbers are ratios of integers. In other words, a fraction is formed by dividing one integer by another integer. Set of fraction is a subset of the set of rational numbers. Fraction can be expressed in two forms: fractional representation m by n and decimal representation a dot b c d. Fractional representation is a way to express numbers that fall in between integers. Note that integers can also be expressed in fractional form. A fraction expresses a part to whole relationship in terms of a numerator and a denominator. Numerator is the part and denominator is the whole. The number on top of the fraction is called numerator or nominator. The number on bottom of the fraction is called denominator. In the fraction 9 by 7, 9 is the numerator and 7 is the denominator. Fractions that have a value between 0 and 1 are called proper fraction. The number is always smaller than the denominator. 1 by 3 is a proper fraction. Fractions that are greater than 1 are called improper fractions. Improper fraction can also be written as a mixed number. 5 by 2 is improper fraction. An integer combined with a proper fraction is called mixed number. 4 3 by 5 or 1 3 by 4 is a mixed number. This can also be written as an improper fraction 23 by 5. Converting improper fractions. Improper fractions to mixed fractions and mixed fractions to improper fractions are the ones which are important on the GMAT. For converting improper fractions to mixed fractions, first divide the numerator by the denominator. Write down the whole number answer. Then write down any remainder above the denominator. For example, if you have to convert 11 by 4 to a mixed fraction, divide 11 by 4 is equal to 2 with a remainder of 3. Write down the 2 and then write down the remainder 3 above the denominator 4. You will get 2 3 by 4. Then converting mixed fractions to improper fractions. Multiply the whole number part by the fraction's denominator. Add that to the numerator. Then write the result on top of the denominator. For example, to convert 3 2 by 5 to an improper fraction, multiply the whole number by the denominator. You get 3 into 5 is equal to 15. Add the numerator to that. 15 plus 2 is equal to 17. Then write that down above the denominator. So it will become 17 by 5. Reciprocal for a number x denoted by 1 by x or x power minus 1 is a number which when multiplied by x yields 1. The reciprocal of a fraction a by b is b by a. To get the reciprocal of a number, divide 1 by the number. For example, reciprocal of 3 is 1 by 3. Reciprocal of 5 by 6 is 6 by 5. Reciprocal of a fraction a by b is b by a. Operation on fractions. So we have adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing. To add or subtract fractions with the same denominator, add the numerators and place that sum over the common denominator. To add or subtract fractions with the different denominator, find the least common denominator of the fractions, rename the fractions to have the LCD, and add or subtract the numerators of the fractions. Multiplying fractions. To multiply fractions, just place the product of the numerators over the product of the denominators. Dividing fractions. Change the divisor into its reciprocal and then multiply. You can see, for example, in adding 3 by 7 plus 2 by 3 would give you the LCD as 21, and if you add following the instructions you get 9 by 21 plus 14 by 21 is equal to 23 by 21. Similarly, in multiplying, 3 by 5 into 1 by 2 is equal to, multiply the numerators and the denominators, 3 by 10. For dividing, 3 by 5 divided by 2 is equal to 3 by 5 into 1 by 2 is equal to 3 by 10. Decimal representation. The decimals has 10 as its base. Decimals can be terminating, ending such as 0.78, or repeating, recurring decimals. Reduce fraction a by b, meaning that fraction is already reduced to its lowest term, can be expressed as terminating decimal if and only if b, which is the denominator, is of the form 2 power n into 5 power m, where m and n are non-negative integers. Now, converting decimals to fractions, we have two kinds: converting a terminating decimal to fraction and converting recurring decimal to fraction. To convert a terminating decimal to fraction, calculate the total numbers after the decimal point. Here we have 0.56. Total numbers of the decimal point is 2. Remove the decimal point from the number. So you get 56. Put 1 under the denominator and annex it with 0 as many as the total number of digits that you calculated. So the denominator will be 100. So you get 56 by 100. Then reduce the fraction to its lowest terms, which will give you 14 by 25. Similarly, to convert a recurring decimal to a fraction, separate the recurring number from the decimal fraction. Annex denominator with 9 as many times as the length of the recurring number. Reduce the fraction to its lowest terms. So following the instructions you get 39 by 99 is equal to 13 by 33. Rounding. Rounding is simplifying a number to a certain place value. To round the decimal, drop the extra decimal places, and if the first drop digit is 5 or greater, round up the last digit that you keep. If the first drop digit is 4 or smaller, round down the last digit that you keep. Example, 5.3485 rounded to the nearest tenth gives you 5.3, since the dropped 4 is less than 5. 5.3485 rounded to the nearest hundredth is equal to 5.35, since the dropped 8 is greater than 5. 5.3485 rounded to the nearest thousand is equal to 5.349, since the dropped 5 is equal to 5. Ratios and proportions. Given a by b is equal to c by d, where a, b, c and d are non-zero real numbers, we can deduce other proportions by simple algebra. These results are often referred to by the names mentioned along each of the properties obtained. B by A is equal to D by C. It's invertendo. A by C is equal to B by D, alternando. A plus B by B is equal to C plus D by D, componendo. A minus B by B is equal to C minus D by D, dividendo. A plus B by A minus B is equal to C plus D by C minus D. It's called componendo. And